it's really cool being back in Scotland. You know, in my eyes, probably the most beautiful country in the world. Going to be the, yeah, absolutely. I'll be the 56th person worldwide. Keep yourself round the thing. Yeah, fantastic. And also, you know, I'm Welsh. Welsh people like their drink. Billy likes his drink. He's English. I'm Welsh. But no fucker can drink like the Scottish. That's a fact, absolutely. We're going to have a great night tonight. You know, he's really down to earth, he's really chilled. It's just kind of a chilled out show with a few laughs. As I said, I served a bit of time in the forces, and I was very lucky because I met a lot of amazing soldiers. One of them is my friend who looked after me, Michael Byrne. He's in here tonight. But really, in terms of soldiering, so I've met like Navy SEALs and SAS and SBS and all different commandos and stuff like that. But I can't say with my hand on my heart that the guy that I'm going to introduce you tonight is the best soldier I've ever met in my life. And I hope that you have a wonderful night, and I'll look forward to seeing you later on. Thanks very much, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage TV's most experienced and most highly decorated SAS leader and sniper, Mark Billy Billingham.
Can everyone hear me? Can somebody wake up all from bed as asleep? I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much for coming out tonight to listen to me on a Thursday night. It's an absolute pleasure to be here, and it really does mean the world to me. Although it takes about 3 fucking days on a camel to get up here. I'm not going to stand on here tonight and try and preach to you about how to be a great leader, statistics and numbers and quotes, because to be honest, it's bullshit. I'm not going to pretend I've done something or I am something. The only thing I ever do pretend about is I sometimes pretend to be sober, but my missus is back on. I do have a structure, but I know there's people in the audience tonight who know me, so my administration is right at my back end. I do have a structure, but the chances of following it are pretty slim. I will shoot from the hip. I'm going to take you on a journey, and that journey is my journey. Kind of the naughty kid who was really, really naughty, got naughtier, kind of got a bit better, got naughtier again, but reached goals that probably I shouldn't have reached. And I'll tell you how I did it, how I got to it. And I'm sure it's not, you know, relevant to everybody, but I'm sure there's bits and pieces there people will be able to relate to. So I'll start the story at the beginning. Look at that. Yeah. That's a head only a mother would love. And a drunken Apache probably wouldn't attack. That's me, 9 years old. And that is where I first started to become the rogue. Born on a council estate in the West Midlands, I was the middle child of 5. I had an elder brother, elder sister, younger brother, younger sister. The middle one, always the runt. And at that stage there, I was already getting in trouble. I knew how to manipulate people, especially my parents. No one could control me. At that age there, 9, was the first time I got drunk on whiskey. That's a fact, I'm not making that up. And that was when I first got with my first little bunch of kids, gang, and creating mayhem on the streets of the West Midlands. And basically, what I used to do, back in the early days, in the 70s, mid-70s, this scene here is not too dissimilar to what you would normally see. The old guy there in his trilby hat. That's a trilby hat for the younger generation that don't know what trilby hat is. And you'd often see the older guy and his missus hand in hand walking down the road. At this particular time, the ska music was coming around. And what we used to do, I used to have the 2 mates and I'd get them to run in front, create a distraction in front of the old fella. I'd run behind him, knock his hat off, grab it and run. So picture the scene, it's a Sunday morning, walking down past the funeral parlour, me and my two mates, give him the go, they run in front, distract him, I run behind him, run up his back, knock the hat off, I've done it many times, grab the hat, I'm off. He's 75, he ain't going to catch me. As I look over my shoulder, he's right on my shoulder, this fucker's lived with Christy. And I leg it. My two mates ain't my mates anymore, they've gone that way. I've run into a shop, sort of cul-de-sac, and I've blocked myself. And the old boy's right on my shoulder, he just jumps in front of me, I'm trapped, and he just goes, like Dino's off with Kenny Everett's hands. And I'm trapped, and I don't know what to do, I've got his hat, I'm panicking. I ain't so tough anymore, so I'm just going to a boxing stance. I've never boxed in my life, I'm only 9. I start jumping about, and the old boy just goes, stands up straight and says, I tell you what, you little shit. Keep the hat. There's something about you. What I want you to do, I want you to come to my gym. And he told me the location of the gym. And of course, I'm going to agree with it. I'm panicking. I'm like, yeah, no problem, I'll come to your gym. Throw the hat at him, and I leg it. But for some strange reason, and to this day I'll never know why, I gravitated toward elder people from a very young age. Because obviously they're wise and, you learn a lot of lessons. And this little boy became, other than my father, the second most influential man in my life. So I thought about this over the weekend, and on the Monday morning, it was in February, 5 o'clock at night, I went down to this old pub. I walked around the back, and I knocked on the door. And the door opens like, and I'm standing there, pooping myself. I look up, and there he is, the big old boy that stole his hat a few days before. And he's like, Lurch. So I went in behind him, pooping it, and I'm looking all around, and I noticed there's bunches of kids all training for. So I started to calm down a little bit. Actually, this could be alright. So he introduced me to the little kids, he puts me in a little group, and we start learning all these skills. And after about an hour, he grabs me and goes, come with me. And he takes me into a little dark corner where no one else could see me, and I thought, oh shit, payback time. And he's got me in front of this mirror, and I'm like trying to look up, and he's behind me. He goes, right, do this. And then he goes, hold your ear with your right hand. So I do. And as he does it, and he's got sellotape, he's taking the freaking hand to my head, I'm like, that shit, he's got me. And what he was actually doing was teaching me how to keep my guard up. And he spends an hour with just me, and I've never really had that before. Like I said, my dad was an influential man, but he was working 12-hour shifts. He never had time. And that's how I know how to manipulate and get away and get in trouble. And you all know the saying, no matter how bad you are as a kid, your mother will never turn her back on you. And like my mum used to say, that never always did, he got in with the wrong gang. But I was the back in the wrong gang. But I knew it. So after a bit of time, the old boy then got me to a proper boxing club. And I spent every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday, and every Sunday boxing and staying out of trouble. But I'm still getting fucking trouble on a Tuesday, on a Thursday, and most of the weekend. And while I'm talking about boxing, and another decision in my life I regret, and I soon learned a lesson the hard way, about 2.5 years ago, there was a thing come up for ex-boxers, ex-SAS veterans to fight the American SEAL veterans. I thought, veterans, he's got to be an old guy like me, that'll be alright. Was I fucking wrong? So I step into the ring in London, and there he is, 25-year-old. I thought, what sort of veteran is that? And he just happens to be a cage fighter. So I learned a lesson that night. Anyway, so, like I said, I was still getting in quite a bit of trouble. Then one night, my elder brother comes home. He says, hey, I've joined the cadets. I went, cadets? What's the cadets? He says, it's like the mini army, they're Marines. He says, you're going to love it. Why don't you go down? I said, I'll tell you what I'll do that. So I went down there, and this is what I met the second most influential man in my life. This guy here. That guy there is called Matt Gaunt. Matt there is about 42. 2 years after this, he died, unfortunately, of cancer. But Matt was responsible for probably over 100 kids in the West Midlands. Getting them out of trouble, just like me, spending time with them, getting them into a career. Most of it was into the military career, but other avenues as well. Absolutely amazing man, including 2 of his sons. One went into the Marines, he fought in the Falklands, one into the Guards, and his daughter went into the RAF. Fantastic man. Matt Gaunt was harder than a coffin nail. He wasn't scared of nothing. Not a thing, except that. That story. We're all fucking scared of Dory. So that's me there, handsome little fella. Spent 6 years with the Marine Cadets, absolutely fantastic time. Came up to Arbroath as a young kid, went to Limster, did all this stuff, and I had a flipping wonderful time. I left school at the age of 13. And these things I'm telling you, these nasty things, I'm not proud of, but I'm telling them to share it and say, look, if I can do it, many other people can do it. I left school at the age of 13. At the age of 15, I was working in a factory, 12-hour shifts. Totally illegal, being paid cash in hand. And then one night, I fell in a vat of acid, nearly died, ended up in hospital, and stopped me slowed me down getting into the military. But at this time, I didn't really know where I wanted to go. Although I'd spent all this time in the Marine Cadets, it seemed like a natural progression to go into the Marines. But what happened, the Falklands had just finished. And down at the Cadets, like I say, all the kids before me had gone into the military, had fought in the Falklands, and they all did a wonderful job. No matter what regiment they were in, it was a fantastic job they did down there. So we had this party and they all came back. And I remember sitting and listening to all their stories, and it was amazing. And then one particular guy who sat there in Plaster Paris, had been shot twice on Mount London. He was in the parachute regiment. And for whatever strange reason, I just gravitated towards him and thought, that's where I want to go. Not because I wanted to get shot. But I just thought there was something similar to what I want. I'm kind of raw crisis management type person. Just listen to the way he operated. I thought that's for me. So that's what I did. I went off and joined the parachute regiment. Now, you've got to picture the scene. The night before I went down to Aldershot to join the parachute regiment, I'm 17 years old now. My father, who was a wonderful man, he was 6'4", he was a British, he was a bit of a gruel, but like I say, he couldn't control me because he was always working, he had to work, we were poor. Except this one night, and I've never really had the fatherly son chat. I come on one night, the night before I was going to join the army, walk in the house, my brothers and sisters had been sent to bed, and there's my dad and my mum sat on the sofa. It was like a frigging audition for X Factor. It was like, you sit down, we want to talk to you. I thought, oh, this is novel. So I sit down and he goes, right, you joined the army. I goes, yeah. I think he's going to be all giddy, proud. He went, what happens if you go to Northern Ireland? I went, well, I hope I do go to Northern Ireland, that's why I want to join it. At the time, Northern Ireland was quite bad. There was, a lot going on, people getting killed, all that sort of stuff. It was quite wild. So I can imagine how I'm starting to feel a little bit now. And the reason I'm saying this is because no matter what people say to you, especially people in authority, it's very easy to take their advice and go, well, he knows what he's doing, that's what I'll do. You've got to think to yourself, no, actually, no, I'm going to prove you wrong, I'm going to do something different. So the next thing he says to me is, well, what happens if you get killed? And I went, well, then you bury me. He goes, that's right. Me and your mum bury you. I went, oh. So now you can understand how I'm feeling, but my trousers are now biting through, my ass is biting through to the sofa. I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I can't do this. He said, all right, what if you get injured? I said, well, how do I get injured? And this happens. He says, yeah, who pushes you around for the rest of your life? Imagine, I was like, Jesus, I can't do this. There's no way I can do this. So I went to bed that night, and I didn't sleep a wink, of course. I sat up all night and about, I kept saying to myself, no, I can't put through this, I'm not doing this. I cannot do this. And then just before first light, I thought, you know what, I'm going to prove you wrong. And I actually don't think my dad was being negative. I think he was just pushing me to the limit to say, prove it, you're going to do it. Don't just go out there and waste your time, waste our time, go for it. So that's what I did. I went off and I joined the parachute regiment. And when I get down there, there's 80 of us. I'm the skinniest, or second skinniest, the youngest, and I'm stood in this line of people. And most of them were jocks, funny thing. I look down there, and all the big hairy chests and arms, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Well, after about week 2, only half of them are left, and I'm still there. I'm like, ooh, this is getting better. And then another couple of weeks, there's again another half of them left. Like I said, there's 80 of us started, I think 7 of us finished, and I finished as a champion recruit. Then we met the Q Messiah for about two days. The Q Messiah, for people who have never been in the military, the Q Messiah is the Sergeant Major of the gym. So you can imagine what he fucking looks like. He's about 6'6", he's like this. Muscles in his spit. And just like you are all there now, we get over to the gym, we've got our sports kit, and I look like Billy Casper. And I'm right at the front, so there's still 70 of us left. And I'm sat right at the front like this, petrified, thinking, we're in the gym, I know we're going to get flashed. And there's this monster. And he's just looking up and down, and no one's taking their eyes off me, because if you do, he's probably going to rip your head off. And we're all like that. And he goes, right, how many of you pissed the bed? And I'm young kid from like, what did you just say? And I'm trying to look over my shoulder without him seeing me, because he's going to rip my head off. I'm like, and as I look around, all the big jock guys have got their hands up. I thought, well, fuck it, I'm having some of that. Anyway, that night, I was still a young kid, there was all payphones there, there's a younger generation there, explain what a payphone is. I went to this payphone and I rang my mum. And it's day 3, and my mum, cocky as hell, she goes, yep, you want to come home? I went, no. I says, Mum, all the guys here pissed the bed before I could go on the phone. She goes, yeah, so does your dad. I went, fuck it, I'm staying. Coming from a council estate, I've never seen a plane up close, never. Every time I ever saw a plane, like most people, there's, you know, it was going off the sky making these pretty patterns. So the first time I see a plane in the parachute regiment, I've got this frigging house on my back, the door's open, my cheeks are stuck out, I'm like, in the wind, and I'm like trying to get back in, he's trying to get me out. That's day 1. Day 2, that's called an experience. Fucking what a hell of an experience, let me tell you. Day 2, back up there, the door's open, this time, boom, you're out. And I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of jumps. And I love it. Not. Every jump to me is fucking night jump, because I close my eyes to leave the floor. So I do all my training, and then I go off to my battalion. My battalion at the time was the 3rd Battalion of the Parachute Regiment, awesome regiment, battalion. And at the time, they were serving in Belize. I didn't even know where Belize was. I'd never really been out of Walsall. So I'm now out to Belize, and it was classed as an operational tour, because the Guatemalans at the time, it was 1984, Guatemalans at the time coming over the border, attacking little villages, growing dope, cutting down trees. A bit like Aberdeen, I guess. That was a real joke, sorry. So it was an operational tour. It was the first time we were going to play a real rifle and rounds and all this sort of stuff. It was nothing like an operational tour today, nothing like that. But the other thing, the other sort of daunting factor for me as a young kid was all these guys had all been to the Falklands. So they'd been bloodied, they'd done it, they'd been there and done it. And I hadn't done nothing, so you can imagine how I felt and how I was getting treated to start with. But what I noticed was the characters, particularly in the parachute regiment, but in the military in general. You will never meet characters like these people ever. And we all become characters. And I want to talk about a particular character. And he's called Turkey. There's this people who want to put their hands on the list for me. Turkey Bollocks. That's what his name. Now Turkey was massive. Great soldier. Again, another above hard as nails. You just don't mess with Turkey. He's done it, been there. He's just one of those guys. And we lived in Belize in these Nissan huts. A very similar scene to the A9 Hotmore. You know, there's 30 of us, and right down the end, Turkey's got his own little space. We've got this one fan that goes round like that. You know, so you're lying there all day, sweating like a Royal Marine on a spelling test. It's a job. Now, Turkey's down the end, and Turkey most nights comes staggering at 2 in the morning. My bed's right near the door, because I'm the new bloke. So all the animals that come to bite me first. He's falling over my bed, and I won't say anything because I'm petrified of him, and he goes all the way down. He gets down to the bottom, his own little space, and he puts the radio on full blast. No one's going to say anything to him. So we just all lie there, taking it, whatever. And all of a sudden, Turkey, it's 2:30 in the morning, shouting at the radio, "Play it, Al Shannon! Play it, Al Shannon, or rip your head off!" And we're just lying there laughing. Next thing, my bed's shaking, I think I'm in an earthquake, I open my eyes, and there's Turks. He's turned the frigging fan off to start, so I'm sweating even more. And now I know why they call him Turkey, because he's naked, and he's bouncing me up and down. These big ganolas are swinging all over the place. I'm shitting myself. He drops my bed, and he walks out the door, like naked. And I'm lying there thinking, what the hell? The radio's still on full blast, and no one will turn it off. 5 minutes later, you hear the radio station, you hear the door getting kicked in, and you hear this voice, "Play it, Al Shannon, or I'll rip your fucking head off." And we're all chuckling and laughing. So Turkey's now on his way back up to the block to listen to it. As he's walking up, run away, run away, he's playing. Just as he walks in the door, it finishes. He's done a about turn, he's back down there, we're all crying, and you can hear it on the radio, the door going again, this time you hear The MPs are waiting for him, he's got 28 days in jail. But these are the characters that we were working with and becoming ourselves. And it was truly amazing. I ended up doing operational tours in Northern Ireland, Cyprus. Believe it or not, Cyprus was an operational tour. And we were like, yeah, brilliant. We just got off Northern Ireland tour, so Cyprus was supposed to be the Sunshine Tour. Ayanapa. All that was wrong. Day one, landing landing Larnaca. Rocket attack. The PLO decided to go mental in Cyprus and start attacking everybody. I got shot at more times in Cyprus than I did in Northern Ireland. I couldn't believe it. So after my time within the battalion, I then got chosen to go back to the depot as a training instructor, which is an absolute privilege. It's the first time I've been a proper instructor with soldiers. And just before my grandma died when I joined, she gave me a little diary. And she said, look, just keep a one line of every day of how you felt, what times you did, and what you could have done better. So that's what I did. So when I went back down to the depot, I found this little diary, I was reading it. So I knew exactly how these young kids felt. So I knew how far to push them, how to get the best out of them. Now, there's a little bit of mix-up of words here, but I'm not a bully, but character building. It is character building, yeah? And I certainly wasn't a bully. So we just have a little bit of fun. And I had one particular platoon come through, and in this platoon was a rugby player. I'm not a rugby person, so I don't know much about it, but he played golf in St Rovers at pretty high standard. But he wanted to be a paratrooper. Now you can imagine how he was built. He was huge, big old boy. We used to live on the my platoon was on the 3rd floor of this block. And every morning, 4:30 in the morning, I'd get up freezing cold, I'm up on mountain bike, drive down to wake all these recruits up. And I'd leave my bike downstairs. I'd run up to the top floor, shout, corridor! And all these young soldiers jump out of bed in their underpants and things going on, and hair all sticking up, stood there, I'd go, right, you, go down and get my bike. And so a young lad would run down, and pick character building, remember? Run down, he'd pick up my bike and bring it up to the top floor, and as he got into the corridor, I'd shout, bike stand! And this big guy who played for Kingston Rovers had run out, drop his pants, and go like that. And then the other kid would get the bike, get the front wheel, and bring it right to his over there, right? Character building, right? I'm talking in Hull next week. Have a guess, he's going to be there. And you're looking at a bike stand. So after this amazing time in the parachute regiment, I spent 2.5 years now down at the depot as an instructor. And I had a choice, go back to the battalion or do something else. Now, like most things, you always want to better yourself. And I wanted to go to the SAS. Now, the SAS isn't for everybody, that's a fact. But I wanted to go, and there's a number of reasons. One was, I wanted to prove to myself I could do it. 2, all my mates had gone there. And 3, and now I know for a fact, I always thought, well, the SAS is right up there, you know, it's like playing for Aberdeen and then you get a chance to play for Rangers. I don't play football either. So it's a chance, seriously, you know, British Special Forces, SAS, without a shadow of a doubt, I can put my hand on my heart and I'll argue the toss with anybody. I've worked with SEALs, Delta, Spetsnaz, you name it, with all of them. They're down here. We are up there, that's a fact. I wanted to be part of that. So that's what I did. I went off and joined the SAS. Now I explained the SAS as a crazy train. Basically, what the regiment does, you get this crazy train, it travels for miles and miles an hour, and it cuts a path across the globe where there is death, destruction, not always through war and conflict, but sometimes natural disaster. And you get off this train and you do amazing things, and you get back on it, and you go again, and then you come home and you get back on it again. That's what it's like. Now, I know everybody thinks, oh, they all talk about the SAS now, they're all white box. Let me tell you something now. You don't hear 90% of what actually goes on, and you never will, and you shouldn't. It is truly an amazing world. And it's a new world. I remember again there, I turned up there, I joined B Squad 2 to SAS. Here's another thing, you get a choice. When you finish training, 280 of us started, 7 of us finished. And you can go, right, where do you want to go? And most of my friends were in air troop, that's all we dive out and look good in the air. D squadron, so of course I wanted to go air troop D. Okay, Billingham, B squadron mounted through. I'd only ever climb stairs. The next time I'm hanging off a rock at 4,000 feet, freezing me nuts. I was thinking, how am I going to get out of this? So within the first 2 years of getting there, I hardly wore a uniform. 1 minute, I was on an intense medical course, and then I was at the Royal London Hospital as a doctor, and literally as a doctor. Next thing on the helicopter, the M's, flying down Oxford Street, landed into the road, run out, pull a guy out of the car, and cut open his chest and put a chest drain in. Next day, I'm back in the hospital, I'm in the resource room, and I'm cutting open a 70-year-old lady who's been in a road traffic accident, all the veins are closed down, and I'm putting a line into her. 2 weeks after that, I'm back in Hereford. I'm now on a tree surgeon course. All this becomes relevant later on. Then I'm off that, then I'm down 14 weeks in Beaconsfield, learning a language where the country I didn't even know existed. I couldn't even fucking speak English. So all these skills and all this crazy stuff was going on. In between that, I was bouncing around the world to all these places doing all these amazing things. Sometimes on my own, sometimes in small groups, sometimes in bigger groups, depending on what needed to be done. And the reason I mention this is because I want to talk about decision making. Now, you've got to picture the scene. I'm in a foreign country. I've been sent out. I've just been away for about 5 months. In a place where there's a lot of naughty people out there to go out every night and give them a slap because they're being naughty, and then we come back. And after about 5 months, I got home, I'd been home about 2 days, I was sat in the bath, a glass of wine, my pager goes off, I look at it, and basically there's a set of things, it just says, get your ass in camp, someone's going down. Oh, Jesus Christ. Back in camp. Next thing I'm on an helicopter down to Heathrow, I'm on a Learjet and I'm in foreign land. I've been tasked, right, you need to go out to this place. Number 2 things you need to do. 1, keep the British ambassador alive. That's your first job. Second job, get in amongst all the bad people, find out what the hell's going to go on and whether it's going to go to war. Full-on war. And the reason being is because it's got a massive impact on the UK's armed forces deployment and on the economy. That is my task. So I fly out there, and you've got to picture the scene. So I've been out there about 6 weeks, and it was a fucking task and a half keeping this lunatic alive. But I managed to do it. Anyway, so one night, I'm now going to make this call back to basically Downing Street, but even well, it was Colburn, the emergency, down in Westminster. So I've got to make this call. So I'm in the middle of this field, there's a pitch black at night, I'm kneeling down there, I've got the ambassador here trying to keep them alive again, there's people over there killing each other, shooting at each other, people over there bombing, people over there screaming, and I make this call. And it's on a sat phone. It's a phone. So I ring this, I get through to Cobra, and the ambassador's like, I won't even look at me. He's the ambassador, I'm making the decision. I'm like, what's me? So I get through, I go, sir. He goes, yes. He just goes to me, right, are they going to war? No, no introduction, how are you doing? Are you okay? Are they going to war? I went, and before I could speak, it seemed like, it was only about 10 seconds, it seemed like 10 minutes. My heart started racing, and in my head, I'm kneeling there, my ass is biting my jeans, I'm keeping him under my arm so he can't run off and get killed. And I'm thinking, I'm a school of 13, with no education, I'm a total rogue, and now I'm telling the Prime Minister of the UK what to do next. And the ambassador's like, I won't even look at me, looking on your shoulders, mate, not really. So I'm like that. Eventually get the words out, they are not going to war. And I expect to come back, oh that's great, thank you very much, keep saying. Silence. So now my heart's beating again. And I'm thinking, did he get that message? Or was he ignoring me? I'm saying to myself, just call me a prat, do something, please, acknowledge me. And again another 10 seconds maybe, it felt like another 20 minutes. And then it comes back. Confirmed, they are not going to war. Sir, they are not going to war. Ding, hands up. Right, put the phone in and the ambassador's like, we're walking out, as we're walking out of this film, and I'm like, fuck, it's the best decision I ever made. So there's many occasions where I had to make decisions like that. Now, operations, I'm not allowed to talk about operations because of disclosure and the Secrets Act and all that sort of stuff, but you know what, you paid your money, fuck it, I'm going to tell you what it is. So, you've got to picture the scene again. We're in this particular place, there's about 20 of us, And it was a pretty tasty place. We were going out in the daytime, stopping naughty people, doing naughty things, and doing exactly the same at night. And it was pretty exhausting, it was full on. Now, the guy in charge at the time was a small Scottish guy actually, and I'll call him the Duke, 8th Parachute Regiment, and again, he's probably, if I'm honest, probably the best soldier I'd ever worked with. This guy could just bang, make it happen, like, didn't need time for planning, it was in his head, boom, 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 and this is what we were doing. We'd run out in the daytime, slapping naughty people, coming back, getting some rest, going out at night, slapping naughty people. And we lived in these little rooms, and we all had a buzzer in the room, and if the buzzer went off, no matter what time it was, get yourself to what we call the operations room. The operations room looked somewhat similar to this. As you came in, there'd be a big map there, there'd be photographs of the naughty people going to slap, there's this, that, and who's going to do whatever else. So we'd just been out as normal, we did a day job, come back, got a few hours sleep, went out, did the night job, got back for about 2 o'clock in the morning, lying in my bed, about 3 in the morning, bing, buzzer goes off, like, oh jeez. Jump out of bed, in your underpants, hair sticking up, sketch. Run into the ops room, as you come in the ops room, there's the Duke. I was around him, it's like, Billy, you're in the killer group, get off there. John, you're in the circuit. He's getting all organised. Now the Duke's probably best described as like a white version of Prince. He just bounced around all over the place, he got energy from everywhere. And then he gives his full set of orders. Cameras deployed, this, the right killer group. And then we realised it's an internal job. And we're all about to deploy around his toilet. Operation Sagittarius, half man, half horse. Basically, someone was having a poop in his toilet and not flushing it. And I'll be very honest with you, it's the only operation we failed in the regiment. Sorry, but that's all I can give you tonight. I want to talk about comprehensive reports, and I think I've already said, you know, just because people sort of set in authority about it, tell you you can't do it, you won't do it, don't take that as gospel, you know. Think about it, take it and go, you know, I'll prove it wrong, and go for it. But there's also, when somebody puts it in writing, it's not set in stone. It doesn't matter if it's above you in authority or whatever it is, take it aboard, do something about it. Now, even in the regiment, you get these things called CRs, confidential reports. And I'll give you an example of mine. I'm running for a very senior position, Sergeant Major of a Sabre Squadron. You don't get better than that. The guy I'm running against, really, clean as a whistle, probably as good as me, whatever, all the rest of the stuff. So I start looking at reports, and I'll give you an example. Our reports are written by people at a very, very high level, the head of the army, this and the other. And the first one would say something like, Billingham always sails too close to the wind. All right, can live with that. The second one, he's always got one foot on the dance floor. Now I'm probably falling here, he's going up there. The third one, which is written by the Director of Special Forces, if Billingham spends as much time soldiering as he does in the fucking bar, he'd be the best soldier I've ever worked with. And my point is, we're running for this, then I thought, you know what, I'll knock it down a bit, I'll keep going. These are senior people saying this, it ain't going to knock me back. And I went round and I thought, I'll keep going, and I got to exactly where I wanted to be, the Squadron Sergeant Major. I want to quickly talk about decoration. I'm not talking about wallpaper in your house and stuff like that. And not to say, oh, what a hero, get the clean, you got decorated. Well, the reason I want to say is, in 2007 I got decorated for the MBE. And it doesn't matter what I had. And you get this lovely invitation from the lady in waiting. Please come meet Her Majesty, you'll be decorated for your MBE, And I was busy, so I didn't go. And then a year later, I got another nice one. And Majesty would like your pleasure, come down and da-da-da-da-da. I was still busy. And this went on for 4 years. And then on the 4th year, I get this invitation from the lady going, you, asshole, are taking the piss now. Nobody keeps the Queen waiting. Get your ass down to Windsor Castle to get this award. So I thought, okay, I better go. And so I told my mum and dad about it. They didn't think about it. Oh, alright, no worries. So we're going down to Windsor Castle, and if anybody's ever done this or seen it, it really is nice. Never set up for them. And as you probably can see, somebody dressed me that day, because I'm normally like a bag of shit. So I'm about to go into he's supposed to march and I can't march, so I walked in. And the Majesty stood over there where the little step is, and the big door's open, and as you're looking through, you kind of get that view there. And my father and my mother are all there. So I'm just about to walk in, and they read out the citation. why you got it. I forgot why I got it. And I'm just looking and I can see my old man and he's going, "You did fucking what?" And I'm always going, "I don't know." But just before I go to Her Majesty, the lady in waiting goes, "And ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, this is the only man I've ever known to keep Her Majesty waiting 4 years." So now my old man's up, and everybody else in Her Majesty's first hall. So I just get in front of her, and I'm like, "Mum," she goes, been busy, Billy?" I went, "Yes, Mum." So after many years with the squadron, you know, you get a little bit sort of dated for diving through windows and boiling doors and all that sort of stuff. You kind of have to move on a bit. I decided to take the job out in Brunei, out in the jungle. I absolutely loved it. I did a couple of years out there. By now I've done 27 years. I was getting a little bit tired. And then, after a couple of years, I decided, you know, you get a choice. You can still do other jobs, or you can decide, you know, I'm probably going to leave. I wasn't really ready to leave, or I didn't think I was at that time. And a job comes up at what's called the HAC, Honourable Artillery Company. Now, they're part-time guys, and really good guys, and they've been on operations and all this sort of stuff, but it's part-time. And everybody who are mates on the regular says, "Billy, you're going to love it." It's down in the city in London. All these people that come to it are all influential people, the bankers, it'll set you up for life for work. It's the best job you're going to take. I'm going to be very honest with you, it's the worst fucking job I've ever had in my life. I get down there, and there's I inherit a problem. And it's a personality clash. Not with me, but the younger lads. And I'm there to sort of maybe protect the younger guys. And it's a young officer, he's been in the army about fucking less time than I've been in a firefight. But he's the young officer. And I play the game, you know, I try and nurture him, and I ain't the most diplomatic person in the world, I'll be honest. And he ain't having it, he just ain't seeing things my way. And it gets a little bit easy. And then one day I called into the office, the CEO's office, and it was about this big, and the CEO was a lovely guy. He was a banker, he was a civilian banker, but he did this part-time work, a real good guy. And this young officer was a regular officer, he sat over there and I sat here. We're talking about a few things, and this commanding officer can already see I'm getting a bit pissed off, I'm probably going to kill him. Then he starts pointing his finger at me. Well, that ain't a good idea, I'll tell you that right now. So I was pointing his finger at me, and he goes, "What you need to know, Sergeant Major, we're on R21. Say again? We're on R21. So I go, I know what's coming, enlighten me. And the CO already is like, "Oh, shit, this is going to go wrong." He goes, "Yeah, Sergeant Major, we could get called to go anywhere in the world in 21 days. I went, 21 days? He went, "Yes." So I'll tell you what, I could build a fucking army and take over the world in 21 days. At this point, I'm just about to get up and rip his head off. The CEO jumps and goes, "Right, stop. He goes, "Right, sit down, you've got to leave, go back to your flat and calm down." So I did. I went back to my little accommodation over there, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so you do what you do, I had a whiskey. I'm sitting there thinking about it, and still fuming, want to go over and rip this guy's head off. Oh, I calmed down a bit, had another whiskey. And the commanding officer comes over, he goes, "You're going to lose all your career, 27 years of American sector by destroying this bloke." I went, "You're probably right." He said, "Why don't you take some leave, go and get some rest, take 7 days off and just have a break." And I said, "You know what, boss, that's what I'll do." So I did. And literally, within that hour of him leaving, I get a phone call from a good friend of mine. He said, "Hey Billy, what are you up to?" I said, "I'm down under me, I'm going to probably pull the plug and might get out of it." He goes, "Hey, I've got a little job for you. You fancy doing some security?" I said, "Yeah, why not?" So I did. So he gives me the details, I jump on a plane, and I go out to start this new life, this new job, or for the week anyway. So I get out to out to Prague, and I meet with Angelina and Brad, and it was like I've known them forever. Now I didn't end up as the head of security for the whole family at this stage, but what I did end up as, I was the head of the children, which is actually, I think, an even bigger privilege. If someone trusts you with their kids, they really trust you. And all they knew about me was from my CV, from the stories that my mate had told, all the rest of the stuff. And they obviously do their due diligence, of course. So we're out there, and we get on with it like a house on fire. And at the time, Angie just come back, she just adopted a little boy called Pax. That's not Pax, that's Maris, but he's about the same size and looks very similar to him, he's from Vietnam. he's like, Kate up. And I love this little kid. He was brilliant. He was the fastest, most accurate kid I've met in my life. And I'd get up some mornings, about 4 in the morning, to do my duty, make sure that everything was all right. And I'd be walking around, you know, just checking everywhere, and then he'd pop out. There's Kate up. Billy! And he'd run at me. And as soon as he got near me, I'd either jump that way, no matter where I jumped, he'd punch me straight in the fucking balls. But he was brilliant. I'll tell you another little story. I was in there after, I spent some time down in Prague. In fact, I'll come back to it in a minute. Spent some time in Prague, and then it was coming to the end of the week, and we really hit it off, and you know, I was going, wow, we really love you being here, you're comfortable with the family, we're comfortable with you. And what I will say about them is, when I told them no, anything to do with security, they didn't argue, they went, okay, no. It was total mutual respect, it was fantastic. So at the end of this week, it's now like the Saturday, no, the Sunday, and I was, Billy, we're going to take a break, we're going to go down to France, take a little break, we'd like you to come with us. Sunday, Monday, I'm supposed to be back in work. Yeah, okay. So I jump on this plane, we go down to France, and we sat in this beautiful garden in the chateau. So Brad sat there, Andy's there, the kids run around with the nannies, I'm sat here, and I've got a mobile phone, that's about this big. Sat on the grass on vibrate, and we're chatting away, and I'm thinking about it, I'm supposed to be back to work. And we're chatting out, and Brad's going, yeah, Billy, you're the man, I'm like, here you are. And Andy's loving it. And all of a sudden, the phone rings, vibrates going across the grass. I'm like, uh-oh. And Brad's like, look at me going, oh yeah, of course I'll answer it. So I'll pick it up and I'll press it. Hello? Yeah, Billingham. This posh voice. Can you be at Allscott's for 2 o'clock? And this is young officer. And I'm like, okay, I'll pretend I'm not. Allscott's, where's that? Of course I know where it is. In London, I went, unless you send me a fucking lead yet, no, don't ever call me again. Put the phone down. And Brad's like, oh, what years is that? So we carry on chatting, we're having a bit of fun. And I'm thinking to myself, I need to get out this garden now, because I know that phone's going to ring again in a minute. So the phone rings again. And I'm pretending I can't see it, Brad's going again. Yeah, okay, no worries. So I'll pick up the phone, press it. Hello? And it's the adjutant. The adjutant, for people who are not military, he's the guy in charge of discipline at the SAS camp. He's a very, very good friend of mine. I'll call him Dale. And he goes, Dale goes, fucking what's up, Billy? He goes, where are you? And I'm just about to lie to him. And he goes, don't even fucking bother. I've got a copy of Hello magazine in front of me. I know exactly where you are. I'm like, shit. He goes, I cannot defend you, Billy. The boss is on the fucking warpath. And as I'm talking to him, I hear this voice in the background, is that fucker on the line? And it's the CO. The CO's pulled back into the room. So I'm like, oh. And the boss comes onto the line and goes, Billingham, where are you? And before I can answer, he goes, don't lie, I've also got a copy of all of that. Okay, he goes, right. He goes, okay, you've done 27 years. Yeah, I says, yes, boss. He goes, are you enjoying yourself? I went, yeah. He goes, well, I'll tell you what, stay where you are, you're out the army, come and see me when you get back. And that was my transition of 27 years in the army into civilisation. So I stayed with the family, and then became the head of the family, and we did many trips. And all of a sudden, they're going down to Cannes for the film festival. Brad for my Ocean's 13. +1. Right. Yeah. And Angie from Mighty Heart. Now, I'd never been to Cannes before, so it was a big old thing to me. And we get down to Cannes, and we're staying at an hotel called the Cap Hotel. Does anybody know this? You get too much. So anyway, we get to Cap Hotel, all the stars are there, all these people are there, all their bodyguards, and they've been around a long time. And I'm the new kid on the block, but I've got 2 main sort of celebrities, Brad and Angie. So we get there, I'll take them into the bar, which is over there, and then there's like a balcony, glass-fronted balcony, and all the bodyguards are all outside, sitting together chatting. They all know each other, no one really knows me. So I go to walk out, so I said to Brad, okay, you don't care, I've got eyes on you from in there, when you're ready, give me a thumbs up, I'll come and get you relief. No problem. So I go to walk out onto the balcony, there's a massive bloke, huge bloke, one of the bodyguards. He's opened the door, as I go to walk out, he's let the door go on my face, I'm like, I walk very huge, I walk past the way, you've got to fucking sleep sometime, pal. And I sat all on my own, over in this corner, and none of the other bodyguards have spoken to me. Now, Brad's got a cosmetic girl called Jeannie Black. She's a wonderful woman, Texan, hard as nails. Been around the block, knows everybody, no fool. She sees this happen. I'm sat on my own, she comes out, and she knows all these bodyguards, she's been around a long time. And as she's coming out, she's chatting to all, comes down to me, she says, hey, you're not going to have a drink with the rest of the bodyguards? I went, nah, you're right, Jeannie, you know, I'll just chill tonight, I'll just stay around. Okay, no worries. As she's walking out, she talks to them all again, and now they're all looking at me, and then off she goes. I get a thumbs up from Brad, he's ready to leave. So I get up to walk out, all of a sudden, all these bodyguards are pulling the chairs that way so I can go clear past. The guy, the big guy, who let the dog open, opened the door for me. Oh. This is to the point, when you join the regiment, you spend all this time trying to get into the regiment, and then you spend the rest of your life denying it. This was the point when I decided, I have to admit, I am in the regiment. Because all of a sudden, Jeannie spoke to all these guys down here, and says, hey, you SAS guys, he's one of you, he's the Sergeant Major of B Squadron. They all went, anyway, the next morning, we're getting ready for this, for Ocean's 13, the big red carpet thing. I've never done it before, all the cars are lined up, there's 13 cars. First car, main actor, was Brad. Second car is George Clooney, so on and so forth, all the way up the line. Now, the big bodyguard I was talking about, was on the door of my face, he's George's bodyguard. And he's Italian. How the fuck did he get into SAS? So I'm sat in my car, and Brad sat with me, and we're just about to take off, and Brad says, hey Billy, is it okay if I go and sit with George, I want to have a chat with him? Because they're mates, and I thought, well, there's no security for it, why wouldn't I let him? He goes, yeah, no problem at all, George. Brad. So I'm sat there all on my own thinking, I'm just going to turn up now in front of the world's press, first time in an empty car. No. So, I get out of the car, walk to the second car, and I'm looking, and there is this monster of a man bodyguard. His head's covering the whole screen, can't even see me. And I tap on the window, I'm shitting myself. Tap on the window comes down, I just go, out. And he looked at me, and he got out. And he's in the front car. So he's in the empty car, I'm now jumping in the car, shut the door, and I look in the window, I can see Brad and George talking, and it's just like, what just happened? And I'm sure you're the man. And we drive off. We get down to the drop-off point, I open the door, they get out, and as we walk up, he pulls me to the one side and goes, you weren't in the SAS, was it? I was, no, fucking none of them were. Which reminds me, apparently, the balcony at the embassy is the same size as Tesco's car park. Because I've also met 300 fucking people that have been on there, and I actually know the 3 people at work. So as I said, at that point, I had to say, yes, I was SAS, because I couldn't get any work, nobody wanted to talk to, because everybody else was and I wasn't. So after doing this job for about just over 2 years, and it was a fine job, it was an amazing job, great people, and were very respectful on both sides of the house. But it was an hard job. I was literally 18 hours a day. People don't realise that. When they finish their work, I still got 2 hours work of an evening to do all the records, because you can't trust no one else to do it. In the morning, same thing. I'd be up an hour at least before everybody else. So it was a great time and I loved it. But I decided at a stage, I was getting a bit tired and I wanted a break. So I sat down and said, I'm leaving full time. I'll do part-time stuff through and I just need a break. So I did. I took a break and I went back to Hereford for a short while, and then I went back into the commercial world. And at the time, we had a company, a security company out in Iraq. And I was out in Iraq one night, early January 2010. And I was in my office, the bar, and it was about 10 o'clock at night, and we had the screens up, we had a few beers, and all of a sudden the news flash comes up. And that's the scene I saw. Comes up, earthquake in Haiti. And I thought, I don't even know where Haiti is. Where's Haiti? But bear in mind, I'm in Iraq in 2008, I think it was, 2010, and it was pretty tasty. So I was used to people getting killed on the streets of Iraq. It was like 10 people here, 15, 20. And then across the street goes 75,000 people dead or missing. And it only happened 25 minutes ago. And I'm like, that's sort of everyone was quiet, watching it, like, please, that can't be right. And then we carry on drinking. So we carry on drinking, an hour later, the news flash comes up again. 150,000 people missing, presumed dead. I was like, wow. So that night I went to bed, and I didn't sleep, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't answer for a while ago. It was about 4 in the morning. Went downstairs to a little cafeteria that we had, and I made myself a tin. I went to sit down, and I noticed in the dark, so I just sat in the corner, and I went over and it was my business partner. And he just said to me, he goes, like, you're thinking about an earthquake, aren't you? I said, yeah. He said, yeah, we should do something, right? I said, yeah. Now, we had this company, and we had a charity arm about everything we did. Everywhere we went, we tried to employ people from our community, we help the schools, we do as much as we could. And I've always believed in charity, but at this point now is where I really started to understand charity. So we thought about what we would do, and we talked about sending money for now, that's not right, it got missing, as it always does. And after about 4 days, I found out that a friend of mine, a doctor, was already out there. So I said, I'll tell you what, we'll do some due diligence, come up with some ideas. And I rang him up, this doctor, and I said, how's it going, John? He said, listen, Billy, it's horrendous. He said, I've literally just cut a 10-year-old boy's legs off in the tent. He says, he's going to die. But we'll give him another hour with his mum and dad. I said, what do you need? He goes, mate, we need everything. We need buildings. No one's going in buildings. So I had this idea. I thought, right, at the time we were building camps for the military at horse cabins. And it's going to cost us some money, about $250 grand. Let's put 46 of these together, fly it out there on a Russian aircraft, get into Port Prince, we can get the local community involved, build it in 7 days, and we can walk away. And that's what we wanted. You know, the feeling in your own heart that you've done something good, that's what we're going to do. So I fly into Haiti. I couldn't actually land in Haiti because the roadway was smashed. I ended up in the DRC and driving all the way down and across the border. So I get into Haiti, and I'd already linked up with an NGO from the UK to take this donation, and then I found out they were bullshitting me. And I was really, really disappointed. I was like, Jesus Christ. So I'm out now in Haiti, and I'm living in this tent here, and underneath us is where all the body parts were all buried. We didn't know at the time, so the place was pretty stinky, it was red hot, it was really uncomfortable. And I lived in that tent for about 3 months while trying to find out how to get this donation across and what to do next. And then one morning, I hear this voice. I thought, I recognise that voice. I opened the thing, it's Sean Penn. He said, hey, what are you doing? I go, what are you doing here? So I told him what I was doing, and he's just, at a particular time, was just setting up his own NGO, JPRHO, which are amazing, and they're still there today. And the thing about Sean is he's not one of these that go in, he has a little picture of the kid. He's been there, he's on the ground, he's getting dirty, he's digging holes, he's cleaning up, he's cleaning drains, he's got it all. And he says, listen, Billy, I'll take your donation, I'll do something with it. And that's exactly what he did. And he built a school called the School of Hope. Thousands and thousands of kids went through that school. It was built on the side of an old golf course where there were 50,000 refugees. So we've got plenty of use. And there was also a clinic that we built as well, as part of it, for ladies that have been abused. So it had great use. And Sean's still out there doing the same thing today. But while I was there, I started to realise actually what charity was. And we're all charitable type people. You know, you put money in the airplane things, you do this, you help out whoever you are. But we never really follow up what they're doing. This is where I really understood charity, and this is where I met my wife, and we formed this charity called. And charity is about giving at the right time, and there's no set time. When a disaster happens, you need to give help, knowledge, whatever you can at those early stages. But there's only one thing that you really need to give after a period of time, and that's dignity. Give dignity back to the people that are suffering, so they can stand on their own 2 feet and build their own communities. So you imagine if we had an earthquake here in Scotland, and somebody came in from Eastern Europe to help you, and you're stood there, mother and father, and probably one child that you've got left, you've lost your house, everything else, and some other person is going, giving your kids toys, isn't it? And the kids first are thinking, why are mummy and daddy doing that? And the dad's thinking, oh, I feel absolutely useless. It's a reverse effect, and I started to realise that. And when I say about giving dignity, I'm talking about giving people jobs. So that's what we do. We've got our own charity, which has been running now since the earthquake, and my missus has just come back from there. It's a 3-phase thing. Phase 1 and 2 is I work on taking the kids off the streets get them into education. And if they stay in the education program, they then go into phase 2, which is job training, learning how to use scissors, learning how to use machines, learning how to drive, whatever it might be. And if they get through that, then my missus does the third part, which is they get a job. So it's full circle, and it's working really well. In Haiti, it's 1% of children get a chance to go to university. It ain't university like we know, but we've had 7 kids go through that university. And I just wanted to tell, I'm not here to sell you my charity. However, there is a raffle, it's only £1 for a ticket, and if you don't get one, Jay the interrogator's in here tonight, and you might get a visit from him. So have a look at the table, have a look at what we're doing. I'll leave you this quick video, and then I'll come back in a second. So I spent about 3 years right after the earthquake out there, setting up things, doing all this sort of stuff, and now I'm still the ambassador to that. And if you want to have a look at the table, it's over there, feel free. I'm not going to try and sell this all to you. After a couple of years again, I was exhausted, I needed a break. So I came back to Hereford and I was taking a bit of downtime. I get a phone call, I'm in the bar, usual place. I get a phone call, and it's Sean Penn. He goes, hey, I need you to come to Barcelona. And I went, no. I said, I've got to go across to Florida and meet my missus. I hadn't seen her for a couple of months. He goes, no, I need you to come to Barcelona. Why, Sean? And he won't tell me, because that's what he's like. I said, wait a minute. I said, I can't, mate, I've got to go and see Jules. And he goes, well, you know Jules. He says, it's okay. He goes, you've got to come to Barcelona. No. He says, listen, Jules can come as well. I went, okay. So I ring Jules up. I was, hey, mate, it's Sean. As soon as I said Sean's name, straight out of my mouth, no. I went, wait, no. I said, he needs me to go to Barcelona. I just told him, no. I was, babe, there's a ticket there for you. She goes, I'll be in Heathrow tomorrow morning, let's go. Typical woman. So we end up, and just as we get to Heathrow, I get this call from Sean that says, hey, I'm sending you some documentation, read it. And it's a script. And I'm looking at this script and I'm like, there's all these people and I'm in it. And I'm like, what? I couldn't even, it was Chinese to me. And I end up in this program, called this film called The Gunman. Has anybody seen it? So we get out to Barcelona, I'm in this massive bedroom, Sean's bedroom, all these actors are there, you know, Ray Winston, who else? Aldous Elba, Sean, blah, all these people, and me. And they're coming around the table and they're all doing their bits, because then when they cut in and out, and it gets around to me, I'm called Reed. Gets to me and I look at this thing and I went, everyone's just looking at me, and they actually think I'm an actor. And I look at Sean and he's like, I go, Sean, I wouldn't say that. He goes, well, what did you say? I said, get your fucking kid and go over to the fence. He goes, well, just say that then. So I did. Hey Jim, document this. Oh, Pete!
Barrel control. Alright, mate, so any type of factory, your Sierra 1 will be positioned here in the 3rd floor apartment. Report.
Channel 1 is complete in a 3-car convoy. Front and back of vehicles are low profile. Soft skins. Target vehicle. B7 armored white Toyota Land Cruiser. So that was my film debut. Pass out, pass in, pass out, pass in. And as interesting as it was, I didn't like it. And I thought, I don't want to do this anymore. So I've now gone from this side of the camera to this side of the camera, and it was quite daunting. However, if I tell you the truth, I actually got, when I was working with Brand Nanji, I got a call one time to do this program called Unbreakable. Has anybody heard of that? So I get this guy calling me up, and I denied it for a long time, and anyway I said, okay, I'll have a look at it. So basically what it was, using me as a jungle warfare specialist, these 8 guys, 2 women and 6 men, ex-athletes, really, really fit, hard, and they are actually really nice people as well. But the idea is, no matter who you are, what you've gone through, you can't break them, unbreakable. So the guys, the producer said to me, because you ever take them to the jungle, I went, hang on, stop a minute. I said, listen mate, soldiers die in the jungle, SAS guys die in the jungle. He said, no, you don't understand. These are fit. I said, no mate, you don't understand. So it's gone back and forth, I don't understand, you don't understand. Anyway, 40 minutes later,
after an hour of running, bodybuilder Nathan is in serious trouble.
Oh shit.
Exhausted and overcome with heat, Nathan collapses. To the shock of the group, Billy leaves Nathan with the medic and picks up the relentless pace that caused his collapse. The Unbreakables are a long way from base camp and there's no let up.
watch your footy now!
But Nathan is close to breaking and is ferried downriver for urgent medical attention.
Come on fellas, we really are losing the line now. We need to move it. Keep it right side, keep it quiet, let's go.
Flash Amazon rains may come and go, but Billy never stops.
The jungle does not like you, it does not like me. Everything in this jungle wants to bite you, wants to eat you, wants to fall on you from the great land, including me.
Now, I will say that those 8 guys, it wasn't their fault, it was just people just wouldn't listen to experience, and basically that's what happens. So I left it for a long, long time, you know, and I've just gone back to the security world that I'm used to. And then I got these calls, it was a few years ago, and it was actually from a good friend of mine, Scottish friend, Colin McLaughlin, who actually, I was his DS and took him through training. And he'd left the military and said, hey, I'm with a bunch of guys, SF guys, we're thinking about putting this program together called SAS and DARES Wins. And as soon as I heard the word SAS, I thought, no, this is going to be cheesy, you know, it's going to be people crawling around with a fucking rubber spoon stabbing people to death and stuff like that. So I said, no, I don't want to do it. But right at the same time, I get another call, this is very true, and a friend of mine working with the BBC goes, hey Billy, we're putting this program together called The Toughest SF, or SF Are You Tough Enough or something. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, but this is groups of people, it's like SAS, Delta, SBS, Spetsnaz, GRG9, all the, and it's like a challenge. I thought, well, that can't be too bad. It's just going to flash people. And the best thing about it was, he goes, oh, and Freddie Flintoff. I go, Freddie Flintoff drinks a lot. I'll have a look at that. So I decided I might have a look at this. Anyway, I go down to Whitehall where the program's going to be filmed. And the day before, I just got back from Nigeria. I was on a bodyguarding task. I was looking after somebody in Lagos in Nigeria. And as I was coming out of Lagos, I didn't feel too great. So I go down to Whitehall and I'm sat at this table with 3 producers and Freddie Flintoff and all those people. And we're filming the next day. And as I'm sat there, again, it's like a fucking panel from X Factor. They're all staring at me. But their heads are all moving in unison. And I was like, I ain't feeling too good. I was like, what the hell's going on? I'm like looking at them. And as I'm talking to them, my face is just basically dropping off onto the table. And basically what it was my 4th bout of malaria. But this time it was cerebral, and I was in a pretty bad way. The shock of that really was the fact it was cerebral. I didn't realise I had a fucking brain, but I did. So I ended up that night in intensive care in Abergavenny Hospital and then transferred across to... So I could have done it, but I didn't do it. So I didn't do it. When that show went out, and actually I was quite right, because it didn't do too well. And SAS Series 1 went out. I didn't see it, didn't watch it. Then in between Series 1 and 2, I get this call again from another producer, hey, we really want you to come and do this, blah, blah, blah. I went, no. I said, listen, mate, he pestered me for it. He says, listen. I said, mate, I'm not coming to London. He goes, oh, I come to Hereford. And literally 3 hours later, he drove to Hereford, came to me, came to my apartment on Saturday, and told me what it's all about. And I says, look, I'll have a look at it. He gave me a USB, and I was going back out to Nigeria again now. So I went out to Nigeria, and while I was out there, this task, I watched it. I thought, actually, you know, it's not that bad. It's okay. It's not telling secrets, it's not this, that, the other. And the thing I liked about it was, as DS, we're only there, it's not about us, it's about those people that come on the show. We're only there to add authenticity to it. And as an example, you know, they do all these tasks, and one you'll see all the time is aggression, where, you know, they're fighting each other, because it's the only way you can really show, sort of resemble sort of, and you react to some sort of fight or battle. And then while they're doing it, for the viewers, we'll get into it to say, well, why do you need aggression? Well, everybody's got aggression, we'll explain it. Everyone has aggression, especially in the army. You are trained to ramp up the aggression at the right time, because you're always in diverse situations, to take control of a bad situation. So you have to be able to step up the aggression quickly, take control, and as soon as you've got control, calm down, without going haywire and seen red and gone mental. So we explained that, and I kind of like the concept. But the beauty of it was, all these people had a bad story, not always a bad story, and actually real good people, and it really does start to, and I thought, you know, this is good, and it starts to help people, so I did. I went to see it, do series 2. But the reason they really wanted me was because I was such a nice, mild man.
When you first do it, there's this bit of rope bridges away, or this carabiner isn't screwed on correctly, or if I haven't locked off correctly and I'm hanging there with no hands, you know, what could happen if something went wrong?
The fact that you could die, but do not let it overcome you. Fear. The contagion of fear.
The contagion of fear. He's not talking about me, he's talking about that brown stuff running down the back of his leg. So what's the future? The future for me, well, we have just, as you can see now, we've got the celebrity version going on at the minute. I know everything celebrities, but you see, we make them all cry, we get the money, and it's for a great cause, it's for charity, it's for cancer, so, you know, don't knock it, I love punishing these people. So we have been sanctioned now for another 2 shows, one will be the normal one, and it's going to be in a beautiful location, but I can't tell you where it is. And there will be a charity one again. It may not be standing to council, but there'll be another bunch of celebrities, hopefully a bit more bladder that we can flash again. But I mean, for me, what comes next? Wow, write a book. I didn't write a fucking email. So yeah, that's right. I will be writing a book, which will be coming out in October, and I'll keep you posted on how that's going to go and what Ashley's going to go in it. There will be a little bit more regimental stuff, but it'll be stuff that's cleared, obviously through the special forces and through the MOD. What I want to do now is, being a soldier, obviously every year and we all know of Remembrance Day, and it's a time to remember all those soldiers that have gone away and died. But for most soldiers, and I'll be very honest, every day is Remembrance Day. So I want to leave you with a little video that I put together. Once the video is finished, then we'll go out and let's grab a beer because it's getting a bit warm in here. Probably, if there's anybody asleep next to you, wake up, tell them I'm finished. We'll go out, have a beer, I'll leave people out, have a chat, and a chance to have a photograph, and you can do the same at the end. Have a look at the charts and stuff, and then we'll reconvene here after about 25 minutes. Okay?
One of the things that we wanted to do. Let's talk about this man here. This, I think, quite a few of you will know who this guy is anyway. On the 15th of November 1915, a very special man was born into Scotland. Bonnie, Scotland. He was the son of Brigadier General Archibald Stirling. He attended Cambridge University for 1 year and left for Paris to become an artist. Then World War II kicked off. He was going to Mount Everest to climb it. World War II broke out, so he joined the Scots Guards. Later went on, yay, Scots Guards, great regiment. Later went on to become a commando in number 8 Commando, and then obviously went on to form the SAS David Stirling. So he's like a very iconic person. Was there anyone that you thought was iconic to you that you sort of looked up to before you went into either the SAS or the army in general?
Yeah, I just had the shock of my life. I was out there and I just met, he's in here tonight, Kenny, and you probably don't want me to mention him, but I'm going to mention him. I didn't know he was here. When I first joined the battalion in Belize, this guy Kenny, I'm going to say his name, Kenny Watt, brilliant guy. He was my first section commander. And I really looked, he was smaller than him, I always looked up to him. He was a brilliant, absolutely awesome, fantastic soldier. And I just met him then on the photograph. You know what he said to me? He was, yeah, I was the first fucker to jail you. And then I remember running down the road in Belize in a KF shoe with one back fucking round. I owe you one, Kenny.
Hey, I tell you what, Kenny, there he is,
absolute legend, really is.
Do you know what? What we're going to do is after I ask a few questions and stuff like that, we're going to throw the questions out to you guys, and I really want to know why you were jailed. That's definitely going to come out, so I'm looking forward to that. Let's see if we can just move that. Let's click on here. Basically, you joined the TV show. You have Matthew Ollie Ollerton there, lovely guy, Anthony Middleton. Woo! Fucking hell, I thought your missus was the only American in here tonight, mate. Yeehaw! What an attractive. Are you trying to say Ann Middleton's an attractive man?
That's mental.
He's a beautiful man, isn't he? And mate, were you ever attracted to him? You know, did you want to have a little play with his man parts or anything? And then you got Jason Foxy. Fucking hell! Foxy needs to come to Dundee. And I can tell you what, his missus will not be pleased with any of you ladies in the crowd. But I tell you what, if you have never had a hug off Jason Foxy Fox, you need to get a hug because it makes you feel warm and special inside. God, I'm straight, but I'm like, Jesus, this guy's good. And then just, oh fuck, that's why I never went into the SAS, because I'd just be letting off rounds left, right, and centre. Well, I'm supposed to. And then you got yourself there, mate, your good self with your... Mate, you can't, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but I gotta say, you do look a little bit like a Dougal type. Some dog flappy ears, things. What is that? Where was your inspiration?
You wouldn't know, mate. You wouldn't survive out there.
Too cold for me. Give me a nice paradise island any day. So you went on to the show. Obviously, we had Colin McLachlan. Colin McLachlan. Colin, good old Scottish man. Interviewed Colin, really lovely guy. You came in, you replaced Colin. Again, you were the only SAS guy on the show. The others, everybody's passed SAS selection. They went into the SBS, a fantastic regiment, coming from the Marines, another fantastic regiment, on to the SBS then. How did you feel about sort of working with the SB guys?
Well, we work hand in hand with the SB all the time anyway. I mean, you mean you're talking particularly about the show? Or?
Yeah, the show.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, obviously I'm kind of the old duffer. They're all the young, good-looking dudes who sort of front it up, and I just put some decisions together that really I enjoy working with the team. We get on really well. We all have something to add to whatever we're going to do. They had the good looks, I had the knowledge.
I mean, and it is like, because they've all achieved a lot in the military career. Just to get into any elite regiment is a fantastic achievement. Getting into any forces is an achievement. Ollie there, 6 years SBS, and around 3 or 4 years SBS, and Foxy 10 years SBS, and then your good self 17 years SAS. Were you? Yeah, fuck yeah. I can remember, Ollie runs a thing called Breakpoint for like a special forces experience day, and he asked me to come up and be part of the staff. And he said, there's a new guy coming onto the show, onto the SAS TV show, and I said, what's he like? And Ollie just went like this, fucking hell, this guy, mate. And I was like, shit, because Ollie is good. And I was like, but Ollie was like, there's different levels in everything. So were you apprehensive at all about working with the SBS guys, or?
No, I mean, I've worked operationally with Foxy and Ollie while we were in the regiment. I didn't know Ant, but he was, we all gelled straight away, and like you do with military people, you just have a lot of banter,
Yeah, but I mean, you must have been slightly apprehensive because you're the only army one there. They're all Navy. Did you ever think in the middle of the night that the Navy boys may come in and spit roast you, get it up you? There's never any thoughts of that?
That's it.
All of this is purely banter. I love the guys and the units. Let's talk a little bit about the. I tell you what, mate, we've got a little happy birthday person in here today. We've got Kirsty Kelly. Are you there, Kirsty? Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Can we all say happy birthday to Kirsty Kelly? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday. Yay! Fantastic. Let's talk about the jungle, mate. You like being in the jungle?
Yeah, I mean,
Why?
Because I mean, my career started when I got into the parachute regiment in the jungle. That's where Kelly was my boss at the time. So I got my first introduction to really playing soldier or being a soldier was in the jungle, and I actually thrived and enjoyed it. I don't mind being sticky, wet, and in an uncomfortable environment. And then since then, I'm not talking about Aberdeen.
Jesus.
So, yeah, and I've spent most of my career in the jungle, you know, probably about 50-60% of it. Out in Brunei for a couple of years, Malaysia, Kenya, the class of the jungle. It's not really, but it is class of the jungle. But yeah, I love it. I enjoy the jungle.
We've actually got a clip of you in your early days in the jungle here, mate. That's how fucking old you are, mate. We've got a bit. Do you know, on that note, you know, how old are you now?
53.
He's looking pretty good for a 53-year-old, isn't he? He is. How are you feeling? You getting more aches and pains these days and stuff like that?
Only working with you.
Thank you very, very much. Also, you know, let's talk about sniping, mate. You've got a bit of a Scottish sniper type. You were a sniper. There's a bit of a sniper story you've got in Scotland.
Yeah, I was actually a sniper for a short while, but the story he's talking about was what we're doing the counter-terrorist sort of sniping stuff. You obviously want to keep your hand in, you can't go out shooting people every day. So we got sent up to Scotland, up to a place called Inverary. I'm sure you all know it. Beautiful place, and it was hosted by a guy called Gregor, who owns the castle. Now, we were building up to something that was going to go on, and we were told, whatever you do, do not mention it in the SAS or the military. You've got to keep this really covert. So we did. So we got to Inverary, and I'll just say right now, I don't like shooting animals, so I'm going to shoot fuck all. I'm going to the bar. So we get up to Inverary, and it's a Tuesday afternoon, and we get introduced to our host up there, and you know, was talking about where the deer are, and what we're going to do, and all this sort of stuff, and I'm not having that. So we go to our sort of bed and breakfast place, which then my weapon goes straight underneath the bed, and that's where it stayed. I said to the two guys, let's go for a beer. It's Tuesday afternoon, it's going to be quiet, no one's going to be in there. So we've gone to the local pub in Inverary, and we walk in, and the place, because it's Scotland, is packed. So we walk in there, and that film, what is it, American Werewolf, you know, when you walk in, everybody's noisy, everybody's talking, all of a sudden it stops. And I walk up to the bar, it's gone silent, there's a big old boy, big old Scottish boy at the end of the bar, and just before I can order a pint, he goes, hi, and you'll be the SAS. Cover blown.
And there's another story that I love. I remember we were down south, and we were sort of home of the Scots Guards, weren't we? Hey! Brilliant regiment, and you knew is it an RSM? The regimental sergeant, or one of the sergeant majors?
It was the RSM.
And you nearly blew him up, didn't you?
I did blow him up. Yeah.
Tell us some about the story.
So basically, we were in a different part of Africa doing some build-up for something, and we often send out one of the guys over to other infantry units to help support them on jungle training stuff. Anyway, the guy that was going to do it, while we were passing, broke his leg, so I turned around and went, right, I was going to do it. So anyway, I got go and do it, but I had no equipment with me. I was dressed like an out-of-work violinist, like a gypsy. So I fly into Kenya, and I knew that D squad had just been out there, so I get out and I find the container where the trucks are in. I haven't introduced myself to anybody. I'm just walking around this camp of people looking at me going, who the fuck's that gypsy? The big guys, I said, oh, they're immaculate. I ain't immaculate. And I find this, can you hear me? Yeah. I get the truck, and I'm driving around the camp, this big old truck, and everyone's just looking, going, who's this lunatic? And I come round the sort of top of the camp, down towards the headquarters, and there's this bloke. He's about 6'4", 5", huge guy, immaculate, big old badge. He's obviously RSM, and he's talking to a rather posh guy who's the CEO. And they're both like mid-flow of the conversation, turn around and look at me. I could read their lips. Who the fuck is this? So I jump off, sit down, I go, you alright, mate? He went, fucking mate? I ain't no mate, I'm the RSM. I went, I'm Billy Billingham, how you doing? Anyway, his name's Alec Cameron, and he's a good friend of mine. So I thought, I need to get out of this camp. I don't fit in looking smart and playing real soldiers. I need to get out and start killing and blowing things up. So I go out into the jungle, I set up the jungle school, and I'm going to do this first introduction lecture, and everybody sat like you are there. I'll find a tree right at the back and put a load of explosives on in a big container of petrol, so I have a big bomb, fire bomb. And I'm going to, at the end of this lesson, they don't know what's there, I've got the clacker in my pocket, and when I finish my sort of teaching or my introduction, I'm going to fire this fireball off as a surprise thing. So as I'm talking, a vehicle pulls up, out gets the commanding officer and the RSM. And they walk along and they stand just below the tree. So I thought, oh shit, what do we do? Of course I've got to do the sensible thing, so I did, I blew him up. I literally set up the explosive and he came flying from the back of the head. Landed halfway down the sort of, where the schoolyard was, and he jumped up and he goes, oh, you're fucking in it. But we came from exactly like that. And that was my introduction to the Scots Guards. They're a great unit, and I'm now an honourable member.
Brilliant. And you say you love the jungle, you love the sniping aspect about it and all that. And obviously, as a sniper, you've got to be a real master of disguise and things like that. You normally dress up in the green ghillie suit or whatever environment you're in. And you are a master of adapting to environments, mate, as we can see in this video clip here. This is Billy adapting to his environment. Fucking master, mate. Do you know what, mate? And let's talk about the SAS for most of us, myself. Well, a lot of us, certainly if you're the same age as me, I'm 45, they become really famous in 1980, the Iranian embassy siege. That was what really propelled them into the public eye and made them very famous. And of course, there's a very iconic image of, when you think of an SAS guy, you're thinking this guy with, dressed in black and with a black gas mask and stuff, something a little bit like this. And that's quite common for a lot of special forces people to have these things when they go in for these raids and stuff like that. But when I look at that, I just think that is so 1980s and it just needs updating. Do you know what I mean? It just needs updating big style, mate. So I think you should go and talk to the Director of Special Forces and say, Mark Llewellyn thinks that you should change that gas mask to this. Now let me tell you, because first of all, that first gas mask is terrifying, and if you're the enemy and someone comes in black kit with a first gas mask, you know you're going to die. Just no question about it. If you're the enemy and that fucker comes through the door, you know you're not only going to die, you're going to get fucked in the ass at the same time. Which would be a bonus if you're in the Navy. I'm joking, I love the Navy as well, I love them all. Talking about, going through and sort of like buildings and attacking buildings, do you like to go through the front door? Or do you like to go through the back door?
It's getting worse, isn't it? Go for the Walmart.
I want to talk about bodyguard and stuff, mate. Were you a bit inspired by like Kevin Costner and stuff? No? Not at all. It's a kind of a Gucci thing, isn't it? Being in elite regiments and the bodyguard and sort of a hard man image and stuff like that. One of the first people that you looked after was an extremely famous person. Let's see if you guys can guess who this person is before his pretty face hits the screen. You can knock the lights down, please. How did you hit it off with Tom Cruise, mate? Did you sort of walk up to him and say, "Hi, my name's Billy, I like to dangle from ropes," and did he say, "I like to dangle from ropes too"? How did the rapport? I can't drink it. How did it? I mean, I'm a fucking Diet Coke, I've been.
No, I didn't. I met him.
Tell me something about Tom Cruise. You met him. Did you think, fucking hell, is this Tom Cruise or is this Ant Middleton?
No, I didn't. I met Tom Cruise when he was on the film called The Last Samurai, and he was flying into Rome, and I got asked to go take care of him, so I did. And I met him, and again, like everyone that I've met with, they were very respectful and gave him the brief and says, "If I say this ain't gonna happen," he said, "Yeah, okay, that's fine." And that's how it works. It was a very mutual, respectful relationship as soon as I met him.
Very kind, very nice person.
Yeah, he's very kind, he's very down to earth, you know, he's got his thing that he likes to do, and that's it.
Scientology is what you're on about. Each to their own, of course, you know. Have we got any Scientologists in the house tonight? No. And we fucked up! Tell us, there's a lovely story I like to hear about, was about, do you know what, I'm fucking scared now. Scottish people are fucking hard people, and I'm going to walk out in the corridor and I'll be, "I'll fucking see you, pal, I'll fucking leave the fucking heat on you." I'll be beating up the fuck after this, mate. Let's talk about Tom Cruise. There was a bit of a situation, you were looking after him, and someone came out of the crowd, made a beeline, looked as if they were going to attack Tom.
Yeah, he's actually been semi-sensible at the minute. I went out and met Tom, like I say, in Rome, and prior to getting there, like you do when you do these sorts of security jobs, I went to the hotel first, made sure I knew where his room was, where mine was, where the security works, all that sort of stuff. And as I came out, there was about 200 people waiting outside. I mean, most of them paparazzi, everybody had already heard that he was coming. And I was thinking, geez, how am I going to control this? I don't know. The other problem I knew I had was they had these rotating doors at the front, you know the ones I'm talking about? I cannot navigate them things. So I grabbed these people outside and I'm thinking, I grabbed the cameraman and I says, "Listen mate, here's the deal." I said, "When I turn up here, you need to get these people to move out of the way, either side of that doorway, keep that clear, and I'll promise you this, I'll walk him down there, you can get 10 seconds, everybody gets the shots." Is everybody happy with that? And he goes, yeah, okay, we'll do that. So that was the deal. I went out to the airport, picked Tom up, give him a brief, "This is what happened, stay in the car till I tell you get out, blah, 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 all this stuff." And as we get to the hotel this time, there's about 400 or 500 people there, a massive crowd. I'm thinking, oh shit. So stay in the vehicle, I'm going to deal with this. I walk out and I managed to see these people that I briefed earlier on, these cameramen. I went, right, I warned you people, I'm now going to take you to another hotel, which obviously I couldn't. And as I said it was like the parts in the waves. Everybody just stepped to either side. It was like that. And I looked at the car and Tom's looking at me going, "How the fuck did you just do that?" So I went, right, okay, cool. So I get him out of the car and he's on my left-hand side. And we're walking down towards the entrance, which is one of these bloody rotating door things. And just before I got to it, I stopped him, turned him round, and they all got their photographs, which was great. And we're just about to step into the door, and from the corner of my eye, I just saw this blue thing coming at me. I didn't got time to turn, so I just grabbed Tom with my left arm, got his head on my left arm to get through the door, and this thing, I just grabbed it and went through the door. And as I went through the door, these two heads turned, and Tom looks at me and goes, "Billy, meet Penelope." Penelope Brooks is
And how did that go with Penelope?
It kind of worked out.
And has she forgiven you for this
Yeah, of course.
headlock thing?
Yeah.
I know that she has forgiven him because you phoned her recently and we've got this video footage of how much she loves you.
Neither. What do you want, you fucking hijo de puta madre?
Don't put me in a fucking headlock. Again. Ever. But no, she was pretty cool with all that.
Yeah, she was alright. She was fine.
Fantastic. And, you know, there's only so long that you can stay with certain people. You had to get to the stage where you had to go and look after somebody else and you had other bits and pieces going on. So you told Tom Cruise, I mean, that you couldn't work with him anymore. And Tom Cruise is just used to getting everything, you know, at that sort of level. So it was like, he was a bit shocked by that and he said, look, Tom, I've got to go. And he was so upset. I mean, funny enough, I've got a clip of it on video. Tom reaction. And Billy said, can't work anymore with you, mate.
You complete.
Jesus, terrible wire, of course. Of course, the other one was the Hitman's Bodyguard as well, and Jim Carrey's Dumb and Dumber, and of course Johnny Weissmuller in Tarzan there. Angelina Jolie. Why would you want to work with somebody like that?
I needed a job.
What was Angelina like?
Absolutely fantastic. Again, you know, very down to earth. Always had time for everybody, you know. Whether you were the cleaner or a fellow actor or the security, she just took time with everybody. And one thing I learned from most of the actors actually that I worked with was how good they were at time management. They literally do work 16, 17 hours a day, you know. They do their time on theatre, on film if they're acting. If they're not acting, they do sort of script writing or reading. They spend time on charity and time with the kids. So they were great people and they really respected what I had to do. And you know, if I said anything to do with security that they weren't allowed to do, they never questioned it. It was, okay, you're in charge of security, that's how it is. They were really good.
With Angelina as well, I mean, you know, when you used to travel abroad with her, did you think, okay, that's me going over with Angelina, but did you say to the admin person, look, book not 2 tickets, but book 3 tickets, because she might bring a kid back. In Vietnam, you can walk out with all these kids, you know, looking black girl, big Chinese girl, white kid, kids all over the place, mate.
It's on the wall.
What were the children like, mate?
The children were great. They were fantastic. Like I say, little packs. They're all their own little characters, you know. The one I really did, and you shouldn't take favourites, but Pax was my favourite. Like I say, he was like a little Kato. That kid who just doesn't see any danger. He's just crazy. I had to stop. He had a little car and a runway down the driveway to metal gates, and he just plank himself in and just head towards the gates. And obviously, if he gets smashed up, I get fired. So I had to sprint in front of him, dive in front of the gate, so he smashed into me. And he knew. He thought that was funny. He did it all the time. Yeah, but it was brilliant.
Now, most of us, I mean, my son's called Leon, you know, you call your son David or Michael or Paul or Louise or Michelle or something like that. But Angelina named one of her children Pax. Was it inspired by a tampon?
So I get a taxi for it.
Let's talk about another person as well. Jesus Christ. Let's talk about, you were looking after Angelina Jolie, and you ended up working alongside a very, very famous, not only actor, but director, who has really gone from being a superstar to an absolute legend. Let's see if you can guess who that person is before he comes on the screen. Eastwood. Let's see, we got a little clip as well of Angelina Jolie talking about Clint, because you always think, you know, certainly for myself, oh fucking hell, he's like the coolest person in the world, isn't he? You think, is he that cool? Is he that nice in real life? We've got a little clip of Angelina talking about Clint.
He's really just a great leader, just a great all-around leader. Every single member of the crew he respects and gives them his time. Every single person feels valued. Everybody brings their best. And you can't ask more for... I've never seen a director command so much respect, not because he's Clint Eastwood, but because he's so gracious and thoughtful and connected to every single person. So it was a pleasure, and I'm sure every single person on the crew would say the same.
Is he really that nice in real life?
He absolutely is, yeah. I met him on the film Changeling the first time I met him, and he is, again, just like Angie, you know, he will talk to everybody from the cleaner to the cooks to the security to the actors, and he's absolutely brilliant. He's got a team of the filmmakers that all have worked with him for God knows how long, and everything's done about respect. And when most film stars go on set, they're seconded to 14-hour days. We were off set every day within about 3 or 4 hours. He's just got such a great routine. He just give the actors time, come to set when you're ready to roll. I've very rarely saw him do a double take, you know, cut and do it again. He's just, and that's because the people just respect him so much, and again, that's mutual as well. He really, really treats people very, very kindly and very nice. And when he talks to you, no matter who you are, it's genuine. It's not just passing the time of day. He really spends time and talks to you.
So on that note, as a director, do you think that to yourself that, you know, it's common to take, you said, how many takes did you take of, you know, when you got your ass out with that?
That just went on for about on and off all day.
Like 15 takes? But, so you think, do you think that the reason for him nailing it in like 2 takes and everyone else nailing it in 15 or 20 takes, do you think that is because he is nicer to them, or?
No, people just respect him, and it's the same team. He keeps the same team together, and you know, everybody knows each other's routine and when to move in, move out, cut, do what they do. They just totally love to work with him and work for him.
So they just give their very best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Straight away. There it is.
Yeah.
And you had a bit of a situation with. You were with Angelina Jolie on the set of Changeling, a fantastic movie, brilliant acting of Angelina Jolie, and you were in a car with Angelina, and a bit of a situation happened. Clint was in the car in front. Can you tell everybody that, please?
Yeah, the story is taken is actually true. Clint doesn't have a bodyguard. Clint's bodyguard is his best mate, who's the same age as him. And they're just really are, like, you know, like I say, come to set every day, but what they both would do, they train every day. They'd spend 40 minutes pushing the iron and doing press-up sit-ups, and it was like routine. Anyway, one particular day, and Angie mothered Clint. She just respected him so much and was kind of trying to make sure he got everything that he needed, coffee, you know, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, one day we cut off set, and his vehicle was in front of ours, about 30 or 40 minutes in front, and as we were driving off set, somebody came from the right side. This guy came running from the right hand side, grabbed the back door and was trying to pull it open. And Angie sees him, panics, and says, "Billy, do something about it." Well, obviously I'm not fucking Stretch Armstrong, I can't reach out there. What do you want me to do? By the time, you know, as this is happening, the door opens, this guy just flies in, dives into the car, door slams and it's gone. So I said to the driver, just follow that car. We didn't chase it, we followed it. And we get out of town. As soon as he got to the lights, about 2.5 kilometres out of town, it stopped. So I jumped out of the car, slammed my door, ran down, and as I get to the car door, grab it, pull the back door open, and there's Clint sat on that side, and this bloke just sat there lying. Clint leaves and goes, "Yeah, you okay?" I went, "Are you okay?" He goes, "Yeah." He said the guy wanted an autograph and I couldn't be bothered to stop, so I just dragged him in. And that's exactly what happened. The poor old bloke had to walk back 2.5 k's with the signature.
Brilliant. And there's another story that I really love where you went up to Clint Eastwood's ranch. Can you tell them about that, please?
So, a mate of ours was getting married in, well, he was from Haiti, and Sean Penn was in Haiti with us, and he wanted to get married, and Sean said, "Well, why don't you get married at Clint Eastwood's place in Carmel, California?" I can sort that out for us. And so of course the guy goes, yeah, no problem at all, I'd love to do that. So that Sean organises this wedding at Clint's place, and it's called Mission Ranch. And it is open to the public, but not a lot of people go there unless you've got a lot of money. And it's a beautiful, beautiful place. So I decided, me and my wife, who's now my wife Jules, we're friends with these people, and says, right, we're going to go to the wedding. So I said to Jules, we'll make a holiday of this. So we flew into California, and I hired one of these RVs, you know, these caravans on wheels that you drive around. But we didn't have a lot of money, so I ended up with someone like this vehicle out of Snatch. I even got a fucking free dog with it. Anyway, this heap of not particularly good metal, I'm driving around California, and we end up at Mission Ranch. And we're driving to the car park, and as you drive, there's a couple of Ferraris there, and all these big cars, and I'm driving this big heap thing and park it up. Oh, I didn't park it, I dumped it. Get out and go to the restaurant, and I meet Sean at the restaurant, we're all chatting away, and then Clint walks in. And it just happened to be his, I think it was 82nd or 83rd birthday. And he goes, hey, we're going to have dinner at the table here tonight. Why don't you join us? I said, yeah, no problem, that would be great. So we sat at the dinner table, and my wife sat to my left here, and Jules is over there, Sean Penn's over here. Opposite there is Clint Eastwood and his wife Dina, and we're chatting away. And like Clint does, he leans over the table and he goes, hey, Mr. SAS guy. He goes, somebody's dumped a heap of shit in my car park. And I looked at him and goes, that'll be me. You can stay. However, that night, so we're all drinking all night, and we go off to bed in our little gypsy caravan, and we woke up by 2 o'clock in the morning, open the curtains, there's 2 people outside, drunk, rocking it. Clint Eastwood and Sean Penn.
It must have been quite cool. I mean, I used to interview people, and I thought, God, if there's some people I could interview, he'd be like, one of them would be Clint Eastwood. What did you think the first time you met him? Were you just like, fuck, that's Clint Eastwood, right? No,
I mean, I knew who he was, I knew what he did, and like I say, we just had mutual respect. And I remember we're doing a particular scene on Changeling, which is based on a true story. And it's where they're going to do the part where they're going to hang the guy who was responsible for kidnapping these kids. But there was a number of other bodyguards all turned up the same day. And I stood there leaning against, as I am like this, just leaning against a pole, watching what's going on. And all these other bodyguards are all like, stood there, big muscles, big arms, big chest, and curly things hanging out, and they're all staring at each other. And Clint comes in and looking at all them, how big they are, and looks at me, and I'm leaning against this thing, and he goes, so what do you do? I'm sorry, he goes, jiu-jitsu, karate? I think, you do fucking what? I think, what does that mean? As well, I don't need to be big and muscular. I think if there's a threat there, I'll walk around and I'll get somebody else to do it. He goes, that's a fucking good idea.
Fantastic. What we'll do now is I'll throw some of the questions out to you guys. So if we have the lights up, that would be amazing. So, have we got any? In fact, first of all, I want to ask your friend in the parachute regiment, why? Can you give me? Why was he jailed? If you could, is there a microphone that you could have there? Here we go.
I don't know.
Oh, there we go.
I'm not quite sure.
Do you know why you were jailed?
Yeah, I do.
You know the son that ordered me to take you to jail.
So he did. Yeah, I remember I'd only been there about 3 or 4 days, and the commanding officer was coming through, and he was obviously respected to salute the commanding officer. And I thought it was a joke. I thought someone was setting me up, so I didn't bother saluting him. I just went, and he went through the gate. I got sent to jail. And then he came down, gave me the wombat shell, and ran me up and down the road for 40 minutes until I nearly died. That's what a jail walk is.
Was there, I don't think I've ever asked this question before. Did you ever get jailed? Well, did you get jailed more than that?
Maybe 1 or 2, yeah.
Can you tell us about any other times you got no? Next question. Oh, by the way, guys, when you get the microphone, okay, can you can you just ask a question and then if you give it back to the usher, that'd be amazing. We did a challenge in England once where the English person got the microphone and they fucking started giving us the life story, and I was like, fuck yeah. If you didn't have mental health problems when you walked in, you would have had them when you walked out. So next question, please. Anyone over lady over here? We'll get to both of you now.
Is there anything that you've never done that you want to do?
What do I want to do? Retire. Not really. I just sort of go day by day and just see what comes next. You know, I've changed the profession completely. I'm doing this sort of TV time stuff, and I'll just see where that goes. But I guess I want to just sort of be in a position just to settle down and kick back eventually, very soon.
You're fucking getting old, aren't you? No, that's nice. You've done enough, mate. You've done enough.
Is it me now?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, massive respect to everything you do, especially your charity work. Absolutely inspirational. Love the show. You're our favourite. Used to be Anne, but it's you now.
Until I'll see you next week.
It's definitely. My question's going to be so tame and so shit now compared to everything you've been talking about, but I'm going to do an abseil from the 4th Rail Bridge in Edinburgh for a charity that's really close to my heart, which is Cats Protection. I'm such a big scaredy when it comes to heights. Like if I stand on that stage, I'd have to crawl along it. So I'm just wondering if you've got any advice for me to make me go ahead and do it.
Yeah. Make sure you get good life insurance.
Give her a big round of applause for doing that absent. Absolutely brilliant.
You're scared of heights, right?
I never used to be, but I think it's a getting old thing now. I tried to rescue a cat years ago and I climbed up a ladder and got onto a wall. I thought I'll just jump over that wall. As soon as I got on the wall, I was like, shit, I can't even stand up. I felt sick and I had to get down on my hands and knees.
You just got to go for it. Just put a blindfold on and get someone to lead you up there. It's like when I parachuted, well, anytime, it's a night jump, I just close my eyes. It doesn't matter, just get on with it.
Yeah, just
believe in yourself and go for it. And good effort for doing that for charity anyway. Well done.
Fantastic, well done. Any men with a question? We've got two ladies. The ladies are the brave ones at the moment. Any men with any questions?
We almost look after people, so now you're famous, so we got a bodyguard.
I'm not famous, man. I'm far from famous, and no, man. My wife, you don't want to mess with my wife, she's American, mate.
She's got Italian blood running through her. You do not want to fuck with her, I tell you. She'll fuck you up.
She's half Irish, she's half Italian, and she's American. I've married fucking Paddy Balboa. Jesus. Anybody else?
Any gentlemen there, please? If you get the microphone and then.
I'll just shout out, it's alright.
Now, people about won't hear me.
Thanks, mate.
How do you like working with the jock guards and that? Or is there any other stories about working with them?
I've got many stories, but I ain't going to tell them a day tonight. And my wife's here. No, how did I enjoy it? I absolutely loved it. I'll tell you what I loved about it. The jock guards at the time had just come back. They'd been on public duties for a long, long time. And so they'd been really away from proper soldiering. And they came out of the jungle and they were just so keen and enthusiastic to soldier. And they really turned it around in a very short space of time. It was really, refreshing to work with people with such enthusiasm. And I keep that relationship going with Scots Guards. I'm going to say every now and again I sort of pop down there to see how we get on. Good guys.
Stories like that, right?
Yeah, that's great to hear. Yeah, great. But should be very proud to do. Well done.
Absolutely, great regiment.
Anyone else?
Do you know what I want to say as well?
Lady at the front row, sorry.
Yeah.
I was just wondering how good it felt to give Sam that good talking to.
It's always a pleasure to put some little prat in his place. I mean, that's not acting, I just wanted to rip his head off. I mean, he actually, you'll find out on Sunday, he actually turned it around a little bit, like, you know, he's just one of these big kids who just never had any discipline or reason to respect anybody, but he was talking to the wrong fucking people, obviously. So, yeah, it was a pleasure.
That's hilarious.
And, do you know what I love as well? Is like sometimes you all say something and I'll be like, fuck it. Like Foxy the other day was like, was he saying made in Chelsea, ended in Chile or something? And then it was like, what was it you said about you take someone's armband off and rip the fucking arm off with their armband? I love this shit.
It's a bad day. Is there any more questions? One more over there.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just wait for the mic to go.
I've got a goldfish. There we go. I was trouble in the crowd, hang on a minute.
Hiya.
We've got a streaker.
Do you keep in touch with any contestants from SAS? And who's been your favourite?
Who's asking that question? I can't see it. Oh, okay, so. Do I keep, yeah, actually, you know what? I keep in touch with most of them. And it's really interesting to see today. Really? What's the mic on off? Today I was with Louise, my colleague, who was the first female on the first one who finished. Awesome woman, absolutely awesome. Yeah, so I met her today, and we try to keep in touch with as many as we can and make sure that they kind of improve their lives, and actually they have. They're doing great things, you know. Most of the people, not most, some of the people that are on there have had some pretty traumatic things happen to them, and we particularly keep in touch with them and help them to sort of get back on their feet and do good things, and they're actually all doing it. You know, you had Mark who lost his wife, and he's doing at every charity event, and he's really getting his life back together. So yeah, we do stay in touch with most of them. And favourite, did you say?
Yeah.
If I'm honest, Ed Sheeran, baby Ed Sheeran. No, he was a wonderful kid. He turned up as a baby boy and left as a man. That's a fact in a short period of time. They're all great people, but one particular person that I do sort of bond with and get on really well with is Efron. Efron was in Series 2. Hello. Efron was in Series 2, and if you don't watch the show, he basically, his son was killed in Afghanistan, and you know, he absolutely devastated that family. But Efron is such a strong, what's left of the family, his wife and his daughter Sharon, they're just such wonderful, wonderful people. You know, they again, same thing. They struggle with this every day, but they get up and get on with it and try to help people in less fortunate positions than they've been in. So, Efron, he's just a great guy. I'll tell you what I actually like about him more. On the show, he was in, and I basically thrashed him around. I was like, right. And he goes, yeah, but you don't realise I'm old. I was fucking 10 years old. And he goes, oh, okay, brilliant.
What's your advice to people that are going, because we've all been through very challenging times in our lives, you know, I've been through it, every single person in this audience, I'm sure you've been through some horrendous times. What would be your advice to people that are going through a very challenging time with mental health or just everyday struggles?
Just seek support from people around you. Don't isolate yourself, you know. We all have dark days, you know. I'm going through a particularly not great position now. You just got to get up and go forward. Life is short, it's not a rehearsal. You just got to pick yourself up. Forget the invitations to the pity party, because you know, you're just going to drag yourself backwards. Just get up and go, you know, I need to go forward. Trust the people that love you, talk to people if you're feeling not in a great place, and just believe it's all a passage of time. This darkness will pass and you'll go back into good times, but don't isolate yourself is one thing for sure, but talk to people.
And what's your advice to people? They have goals and dreams. I think a lot of us have goals and dreams. You might want to run a 5k run or a 10k or a marathon, or you want to make a little bit more money. What's your advice to people that want to get to the next level with their goals in life?
Well, I mean, you should always set yourself goals, but I would say probably 50% of the goals I've never reached. If you set yourself a goal, at least go for it, have a good goal for it. If you don't get to that goal, you'll definitely be in a better position than you were when you started. So, you know, it's just believe in yourself, don't let nobody knock you back, and just say, you know, always believe, go that little bit further, push yourself to that point where you know is your limit. Don't just become lazy and go, that's it, I don't want to do it. Because you can do it, and like I say, if you don't reach a goal, it's not the end of the world, it doesn't matter. Most of the time, everything I've gone for, I haven't reached it, but other avenues open up all of a sudden until you get better, so yeah, just go for it.
Mm. You were kind of also, before we go into the raffle, you are kind of, in my eyes, you're kind of known as like I see you as the sort of, the SAS version of Simon Cowell, you know, you're quite nasty, without wearing black tie tops, all of that sort of thing. However, what probably most of you don't know is his nastiness is matched tonight, because we have Jay, who is one of the interrogators off the show. Give it up for Jay over there. Come on, Jay. Tell us some stories about our nasty man over there. Is he nasty in real life, or is he a lovely person?
He's a big bear, but he knows how to get his job done. He's good.
Fantastic. All right, are we going to do the raffle? Do you want to tell everyone about the...
Yeah, how's everybody who got involved in supporting into the raffle? Every single penny goes back to Haiti to put kids in school, so I honestly really appreciate that you took the time to do that. What you get is all the stuff that is made by the people in Haiti, and it's all ethical, it's all handmade stuff, so I'll let you look in there. The only thing that isn't handmade, but is brilliant, it's a beer. You get two of them. So, can I ask this lady here, please, if you don't mind, to come up and sing?
Yeah, and if you can give the number, please.
699779.
I'm going to try and remember it. I was like, fucking awful. All the numbers for me. 699779. You are a winner.
24 hours, wasn't it? 24 hours, wasn't it?
Really?
Was it?
89.
Guys, if you want any selfies.
Thank you, mate. Really appreciate it. Cheers. No, I trust you.
By the way, if you're really chilled out and down to it, if you want any selfies with him, just you can tag him at Billingham and all that sort of stuff on Instagram. You've got your book coming out on Mark Billy Billingham. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to close it down, go and have a photo with him at the end, or have a chat in there, because you like mingling, don't you? You like a big little mingle. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to sort of play last video, and it's kind of running through a bit of his life, and then also a bit of some of the people that you've worked with.